Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Johnny Vlogs. Today's episode is brought to you by Patreon supporter Jessica, who was actually a Patreon supporter before, but she actually upped her pledge. She went back and kicked in more. Thank you so much, Jessica. As well as new supporter Scott. Thank you both so much for contributing and making sure I can keep doing this for a good long time. It's also brought to you by My Bloody Eye. Don't worry, it doesn't hurt at all, but it's definitely an after effect of me playing too much Halo, which I tend to do from time to time, and I'm actually shooting this on the weekend, so I have just had several hours of kick-butt Halo time, and my poor eye is suffering for it. That being said, let's get to today's topic. There was a bit of a discovery that happened about a month ago, but the press has finally caught hold of it, and over the past few days, you've probably seen a lot of articles about this. I'm going to be referring to some information from the LA Times, and this article is titled, "Knife Discovery Stirs Up Skepticism and Speculation in O.J. Simpson Case." Yes, a possible piece of new evidence in the O.J. Simpson case. And this is by Joseph Cerna, Richard Winton, I actually know him, I think we follow each other on Twitter, and Sarah Parvini. They're all reporters on this. Let's read just a little bit from the middle. Now, it starts off by talking about how the court case was, of course, they had the bloody glove, but they never found an actual knife. And they did find some knives. There was a 15-inch retractable blade that O.J. Simpson purchased at a downtown Los Angeles cutlery shop. There was a blood-stained kitchen knife wrapped in a blouse discovered near Simpson's Brentwood estate. Even a broken carving knife found in a waste tank at Chicago's O'Hare Airport was turned into investigators. Apparently none of those ever panned out. However, fast forward, now 22 years after the killings of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman, a retired police officer has handed over a knife. I know, I start getting weird feelings about that too. He said was given to him by a construction worker who helped raise Simpson's mansion in 1998. And they don't mean raise like built it up, they mean raise like level the thing. Apparently someone found a knife in, I'm not sure if it was in the rubble. I've heard reports it was in the backyard, but kind of hard to know for sure. The knife brought a frenzy of new speculation Friday, but also deep skepticism in some quarters over whether it's just one more fruitless lead in the case. The LAPD is now testing the knife for DNA, and Los Angeles Police Captain Andrew Neiman publicly questioned why the officer didn't notify detectives of the knife when he first received it. Naughty, naughty officer. Seriously, was someone trying to hold on to it as a trophy, or, I mean, were you hoping you were going to be able to sell it? That's another thing that's kind of weird, is this information is now coming out, and there's a TV show that's going over this whole case again. It does seem a little bit like someone's trying to take advantage of the current timing of the moderate rise in popularity about this topic again. Just one more section I want to read here. Experts say that any evidence that suddenly points to Simpson probably would not lead to charges. Following a drawn-out trial, Simpson was acquitted a day after jurors began deliberations. Double jeopardy precludes him from being tried a second time. Now, wouldn't that be an interesting twist in this whole story, though, if all of a sudden they find the knife and they find DNA evidence on it that supports that it was used? Perhaps they find both of their blood on it. That would be really, really intriguing. Of course, legally, there's nothing they could do. They tried this guy, and he was acquitted. So there's really, their hands are tied in terms of how they could prosecute that. The civil trial, I believe he lost, if I recall correctly. So it's not like it could really help that case. I don't think they could launch another civil trial and say, hey, we're blaming you for the death, and now we have this new evidence. But in the eyes of the public, it's going to be pretty interesting, because I do think there is still a percentage of people that are holding on to O.J. not being guilty. I don't think it's a huge percentage, but that would definitely sway that opinion a bit. It would give a bunch of people out there a big, aha, I told you so type thing, which I don't think we really need a whole lot more of in this world. But either way, it might help the family, the Goldman family, and Nicole's remaining family. It might help them kind of close this case a little bit more. I think they all are of the same mind and that they all believe he did it, but this would really help bring that to a total close. So I do think there is some potential benefit in testing this out. But this article also, they spoke to Ron Goldman's father. He really does not want to even imagine what this is about. He's really keeping himself in a position of waiting until the final information comes out of the DNA test. And I think that's a pretty smart position to be in. It's got to be painful to have any aspect of this case revisited for the family. So I think it's smart for him to do that. So what do you guys think? Is this... Is there some aspect I'm missing on this? Is there something else that could happen with this information? Is it going to change your mind at all about O.J. Simpson? Let me know in the comments below. And thank you so much for sitting with me and my bloody eye. Hope it didn't freak any of you out there on this edition of Johnny Vlogs. I hope this is a great start to your week, and I will catch you on the next show on the Geek and Dorks channel. Take care.